Hey everybody, it's Michelle.
And Alvin.
Okay, so we figured we would come and record another video, and tonight we will talk about how we met. But before we get started talking about that, we just wanted to say we are not marriage counselors. We are not on here trying to tell you how to be married. We're not relationship experts. We're just talking, and we are not the spokesperson for vision impaired people or dating or none of that. We're just talking about Alvin and Michelle and what works for us. Would you agree?
I would agree. And we can't tell you how to love. You're gonna have to call Jesus on that one.
Okay, so now for the fun part. We are here to talk about how we met and how we started talking. So I'm gonna give my spiel first, and then I'll let Mr. Pointer give his spiel. Okay. So we met at church, right? So we've been going to church with each other for a long time. I've been at our church for about 20 years now, maybe 21 years, something like that. And I had always actually took a liking to his mom. We just got really close somehow. I can't really say I remember. It could have been the prayer ministry. It could have just been seeing her in passing at church. I've just always been very fond of her, and I loved her very much and still do, of course. And then after that, I started talking to what are now my sister-in-laws. I got really close with them. And I would see Alvin Cooley, and I would speak occasionally when I walked by, but it wasn't never anything. It was never anything long and drawn out. It was just kind of like, hey, Cooley, like a tap on the shoulder and keep going, because they were my sisters. So I was thinking, okay, this is like my brother in my mind. But maybe because I wasn't thinking about dating or anything like that, so I didn't really see him like that. Is that what happened? I'll let him.
That's what you want to say.
I did. That's why I was just like, oh, that's Cooley. Hey, Cooley. And he was Mama Gail's son. That was Mama Gail's son. I was like, hey, that's Mama Gail's son. And that was that. Huh.
That's all it was. Slap on the shoulder. Hey, Mama Gail, son.
I did not. I at least said, hey, Cooley. And smiled.
I guess. Go ahead on with your story.
So that was that. And so I did not picture a relationship or anything like that. I was just really cool with their family, and I was okay. Oh, I just love them so much. They're such a great family, blah, blah. I just took a liking to them. And then this happened. You want to talk, Mr. Pointer?
My turn?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how I met Michelle. Let me say, I didn't just meet Michelle when we got engaged. I met Michelle. Well, I knew of Michelle. I heard her one night when I still did have my vision, so it wasn't just a mystery of I was trying to see what she looked like, or it was just hey, let me try and marry her, because it wasn't anything like that. I know how she looks, and I know all of that.
So let's just pause for a second. So we haven't gotten into that yet, but so you all know, Cooley was not born vision impaired up until
I think it was
4 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, it was somewhere around there.
So about 4 years ago, when he lost his vision. Now he can see. You want to explain that part? I don't want to tell you.
Now, the left eye I can still see out of, not 100%, but I can still see some shapes, some light, some objects, depending on how the lighting is. Like I can make a person out or make things out, but the right eye, now I'm totally blind in that one.
Mm-hmm. So that was a question that people asked without asking, like, how you know what she looked like, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's why, because he has not always been vision impaired, guys. Now, take that and put that in your memory bank, and I'm going to let him finish telling the story.
So I met Michelle at what you would say was a all-night prayer event.
So did you meet me? You didn't
Well, I didn't meet you. I heard her. And when I seen her go up and pray, I was like, oh, that's nice. A young lady praying, that's really good. But once she got that mic, like I think I told you this before, guys. Now, once she got that mic, I was like, man, like she had like years of prayer in her. Like she prayed like she was like a 75-year-old. So after she did that, like I knew a woman that could pray like they had it going, cause the first person I seen pray like that was my mom. So I was looking for some attributes that my mother had that my wife would have. Like I know she wasn't gonna have everything, and I didn't want her to have everything like my mom, but that really did attract me to her and you could see the spirit that she had in her by her praying. So after that, like I
don't think we really talked for a while.
Right, we really didn't talk. Like I seen her and I wasn't like interested like let me go talk to her after she get done praying, but I was like it would be nice if I talked to her and I knew that she had kids and all that, but that wasn't anything where it was like, well, let me try not to talk to her because she got kids. I was like, whatever she got, that's what I'm finna have. We didn't talk for a while, like she said, and
about a couple of years, wasn't it?
It was a few years in between. So when I did get a chance to try and talk to her, let me say that she's the CEO of Say What He Said. She makes t-shirts. So I talked to her. I said, hey Michelle, could you make me a t-shirt? And I actually really did need a t-shirt. And
did you really need a t-shirt?
I really did need this t-shirt because I had some shoes that I couldn't find a shirt for. So I had told her about it, and maybe she was busy, maybe I don't really know what was going on. So my wait time was like 6 months. 6 months. So she had called my mother because she didn't have my number or anything. She called my mother and she was trying to get my shirt size. So I had came home from work one day and my mom was like, Michelle called. She needs to know the size t-shirt you wear. So light bulb went off in my head. I said, okay, let me. I told my mother, I said, well, could you give me her number? I want to ask her if she make this shirt the color of these shoes that I want. They were an odd color pair of shoes. So I got the number. Then I had called her. And I was trying to tell her that I was kind of interested in her, but I did, but cause I called you and I said, "Hey, is this the beautiful Michelle?" And she was like, "Huh? What's this?" and so I was talking to her, so I just had to go and I was like, "Well, I was trying to get a shirt this color of the shoes." So she was like, "Send me a picture of the shoes," and I sent her a picture of shoes and. All this time, I was still trying to talk to her. I would send her good morning text. Hope you have a great day. And,
clueless.
And she had no idea what was going on. She's like, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, sugar.
Oh, my God. You stupid.
So.
Because what you want me to say? What I'm supposed to say? Oh, he must be trying to holler or something.
So, since she had made me wait those 6 months on this t-shirt, she was like, well, it's going to be, the t-shirt will be free. So guys, I don't think y'all know this about me. Now, I don't know if she knew it. She was messing with a real man. I ain't want no free t-shirt. Look here. I want to pay you for all your hard work. So, I made the gesture that I was gonna pay for it, and I don't want her working for free and this, that, and that, and other. I think she kind of liked that, and we were talking back and forth, and we were talking back and forth, and I talked to her one night, and she said, "No," I said I had something on my mind, and she said, "Well, I'm walking the neighborhood. I'm out just walking and jogging around." So I said, what if I told you what I was thinking about was you?" She still clueless, guys, still clueless. And she said, "Oh, I would say that's nice." So I talked to her later on the day, and she said, "So what did you mean when you said, what if you were thinking about me?" So that's when I got a chance to shoot my shot, and I made the shot, guys. I made the shot.
Well, I would say, like, I think at first I was clueless. Honestly, I was, because I just didn't think that he saw me like that, and I don't know. I was just clueless. But then too, I had reasons as to why I didn't want to really date and wasn't really interested in anything. So I just told him that maybe we can be friends for a little while and just see what happens, so on and so forth. And I knew he had a vision impairment. I didn't fully understand everything and things like that. So we kind of discussed that, and he asked me if I felt like, once we, started talking more, if I felt like that would be a problem. And honestly, I told him at first I didn't know, and that we would have to take our time and see. And he respected that I said that. But I did tell him that if we start talking and we stop talking, it would never be because of that. It would never be because of that, because I feel like you need to give a person a chance no matter what their condition is. And if God, and I told God that if this was what he had for me, then he would grace me for that. And as we started talking and I began to have more feelings for him other than this just my friend, I finally did ask him one day. I said, if I'm reading this right, after all these hints, y'all, I was like, if I'm reading this right, I think you interested in me. And he was like, exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. But, I did tell God, as I began to develop deeper feelings for him, I told God, if this is, who you have for me and what you have for me, then I would ask that you make sure that anything that I ever had to do concerning my husband would not feel like a chore, but that everything I did for him would be done out of love, and that he would grace me for this relationship. And God has done just that. So time happened for a reason, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Even the shirt thing. Like, if I had responded to the shirt prematurely, then I probably wouldn't have. It probably wouldn't have worked out then.
I don't think so, because I don't think either one of us would have been ready at that time, but we probably wouldn't have known it. But I'm glad that God always knows.
Right, yeah.
And he set us up at the right time.
Right, yeah,
because if it had been before those 6 months, like, we could have set ourselves up for a great destruction.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that we wouldn't have fully been ready, either one of us, like he's saying, for anything more than that. But I will say that it didn't take a long time. It's like, we don't even know when we started talking about marriage, but we spent so much time together throughout our whole dating experience, like, ridiculous. Like, of course we don't believe in sleeping together, spending the night, none of that kind of stuff, but literally from early to late, we were together all the time, and our relationship just grew so fast. And at first I was like, I don't know, because whether y'all know it or not, Cooley is my Tinder. But he like a Tinder wrapped in like a 65-year-old no man body. Like,
I'm your tender?
you'll tend a little bit.
Like a tender from Popeyes?
And that was, I don't know. It's a few years. It's a few years. It ain't that bad.
It's a few years.
It's a few
But
years.
it's a few years, but you wouldn't ever be able to tell it. But I think the biggest thing that I would get out of it is when I was young and I used to go play basketball with my father. The one thing he told me in basketball, when you work in life, you always gotta hustle for what you want.
Yeah.
Like, there's no backpedaling in it. If you want it, you gotta go for it.
Yeah.
If you see a car on the car lot and you feel like you want it, you can't say, man, I can't get this car. You may not be able to get it right now, but you gotta say to yourself, well, I gotta save this money because I want this car.
Right.
So I wanted Michelle, and then any cause I had to go to, I was gonna do it. If they told me that tomorrow you gotta fly a plane to get Michelle, man, I better buckle up because I'm y'all pilot. Like, whatever.
It's like clown.
Whatever I had to do, but all in seriousness, like all in seriousness, this was at the time I didn't have a name on it, but I prayed for a wife. But at the same time, I prayed for a wife. I couldn't ask for a wife, and I wasn't prepared to be a husband.
Come on.
So it was a great time that I was getting prepared for it. I wanted a great wife, and I was rewarded with that. So I don't know. I couldn't let this minor setback, my vision or anything in life, I couldn't let it stop me or hold me back or be like, well, I don't think I can do this because of this or that, or maybe I might not be able to do one certain thing, but you got to find your way around it and say, I can't do this, but I can do that.
That's right. And I'm glad that, he made his move, if you will. He shot his shot, because I could not have asked for a better husband. I could not have asked for a better bonus dad for my kids. I cannot ask for, y'all excuse us, we sitting in a car. I could not have asked for a better friend. And this is definitely God. And I know some may know, but Cooley and I dated for 6 months. Shout out to FMT Dating and Enrichment Marriage Ministry. I highly suggest that you go to marriage counseling, dating counseling, all of that. It was a blessing.
Yes, sir.
For us to go there. So shout out to that whole ministry organization. And we dated for 6 months, and we actually got married 6 months to the date.
6 months to the date.
What you think about that?
I think that was too long.
Long story short, we have zero regrets. It did not seem like a short amount of time because we're together so much, and I have no regrets. This has been like he said, that was too long because we are just.
But I don't say that was too long because we want to rush and get married because of the physical. I say it was too long because I knew Michelle was the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, because whatever you get into a marriage or you get into love with, or if you got a certain thing that you got on marriage or whatnot, you take that away. You, like, if I was to take, I I stopped saying physical. If I was to take sex out of the equation, would I still want to be with Michelle?
Mm-hmm.
If Michelle got a scratch on her face, or would I still want to be with Michelle?
Right.
If Michelle didn't still look the same, would I still want to be with Michelle?
Right.
I would 100 times over. So that's not why I want to rush into it. I knew this was the person who I wanted to see every morning, who I want to have conversations with, who I want to call on my lunch break. Like, I knew that's who I wanted. Like, this the person who I want to see her name on the mortgage with mine. Like,
you better talk, sir.
That's what I want to see. So it's not this ain't a physical marriage anymore.
No way, shape, or form. Like, we thank God for every aspect of our marriage. Let's get that right real quick. But what we gonna say is, when you know it's God, it's good. Being his wife is a privilege to me, to know that God trusted me enough for this time and for this person and for this season. And everything I do for my husband is a blessing. Sometimes I'd be like upset if I didn't get to do it like I wanted to, or I just want to be everything he needs me to be, because I appreciate him so much. And anything that I have to do for him is never a hassle or a burden. Now, I might push him to try it himself first, because I love to see him do something that maybe he thought originally that he couldn't. But for the most part, this is the perfect husband for me. And I can only pray that I'm the perfect wife for him. And so
she is, y'all.
So we done already held y'all long enough. We just wanted to tell y'all how we met. And we'll keep showing y'all other stuff as to how we worked our way through the marriage, because of course it's a little different, like, than what a normal marriage. I'm not gonna say a normal marriage, because it's not that, because our relationship is pretty much like everybody else's as far as that. But there are some things that we have to tweak to make work for us, like different things we have to do and things like that. Like seeing movies and stuff. We'll let y'all in on all those little different things that we do to tweak it a little bit to make it work for us. But for the most part, we out here chilling. What you think?
Chilling.
You done? You leaving them with a note before we hang up? Our clothes off? Did you have a... We kept them on point with the pointers last time.
We trying to get y'all to get the point with the pointer.
We love y'all. Good night.